you're looking for ways to get out of debt and build wealth, you don't want to miss today's video. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Achieve Financial Coaching channel, where we believe in breaking the chains of debt and talking about all things related to personal finance. Today, I have two amazing ways to help you get out of debt and build wealth. Which one you choose is up to you. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share with friends. Let's get started. The first approach I'd like to talk about in terms of getting out of debt and building wealth is called the baby steps. You can Google baby steps or Dave Ramsey's baby steps. You'll find a lot of information about these steps and this process online. The first three steps in the baby steps, I need to emphasize, you need to turn off your 401k. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're going to say, what if I'm getting a match? All of those things. In this process, you turn off your 401k. The idea is to channel all of your income towards getting you out of debt as fast as possible. So the first thing you want to do is save up a $1,000 baby emergency fund out of the gate, because when you're trying to get out of debt, things are definitely going to happen. And so you want at least $1,000 to be able to take care of any little things that happen. The second step, baby step 2, is to then pay off all of your consumer debt. So that's everything except the house. And you want to line your debt up from smallest to largest. Don't worry about the interest rates and trying to organize them by interest rates. You just want to line them up, smallest to the largest. And what you do is you attack the smallest one with a vengeance. You pay the minimum on everything else. You attack the smallest one with a vengeance. And then what you do is, once you eliminate the smallest one, you take the payment you were making there and you roll that into the next one, right? And so they call it the debt snowball. But the idea is eliminate the smallest debt, then move to the next smallest debt, so on and so forth until all of your consumer debt is gone. Once you have eliminated all of your consumer debt, step 3, by the way, your 401k is still off. But step 3 is to then build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. I personally like 6 months of an emergency fund, but some people are very comfortable with 3 months, and that is 3 to 6 months of your expenses, right? So that's steps 1, 2, and 3. And you want to make sure your 401k is turned off during that time. Now, steps 4, 5, and 6 you actually do at the same time, but steps 4 is to contribute 15% of your household income to your retirement. 15%. Don't count the match with that. This is 15% of your personal income going towards your retirement. So contribute 15% of your household income towards your retirement. And then step 5 is to establish a college fund for your kids. By the way, I would prioritize your retirement over saving for your kids' college fund. Okay. So there are a lot of reasons why I believe you should do that, but I just think it's more important that you are saving for your financial future so you're not a burden to your kids when you get older and you haven't prepared for retirement. So I like the order of these steps 4, 5, and 6, even though you do them at the same time. But step 5, again, establish a college fund, but not before you do step 4, which is 15% of your household income towards retirement. Step 6 is the one I love. It's the one I'm personally on at this point, and it is to pay off your mortgage as fast as possible. So when you are contributing 15% of your household income towards retirement, you have a college fund going, anything else you want to really throw at that mortgage to get that out of the way. So that is steps 1 through 6. Once you finish those steps, the final step, step 7, is to live and give like no one else. I truly like this step because money is really not to be hoarded. That is my personal money philosophy. You all have probably heard me talk about that on some of my other videos. But you do want to be able to share your wealth with your family, with your friends. You want to be able to help people. You want to be able to support causes that you care about. So there you have it. Baby steps 1 through 7, a great way to get out of debt and build wealth. Another good way to get out of debt and build wealth is called the financial order of operations. I follow a channel called the Money Guy Show, and there's Brian and Bo over there, a couple of great guys that give a lot of good information away in terms of what they call controlling your army of dollar bills. I love it. So the first step in the financial order of operations, and by the way, there are 9 of these. Step 1 is to make sure you have all of your deductibles covered. Emergencies will happen, car accidents, health care things. You want to make sure you have enough money saved to cover any deductibles just in case something happens. Step 2 is to make sure that you are taking full advantage of free money. So in the financial order of operations, they want to make sure that you are at least contributing up to the match from your company. After step 2, step 3, they want you to focus on high interest debt. So this would be consumer debt, credit card debt, things like that. Don't worry about any low interest debt right now, but just prioritize any high interest debt that you have to knock this out of the way quickly because it can be the most dangerous type. Step 4 is to then make sure you have emergency reserves. We've talked about this. 3 to 6 months of expenses because emergencies will happen. By the way, this is in addition to having your deductibles covered, right? So those are 2 separate things. Don't count them as one. You want deductibles covered and you want an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Step 5 is to make sure you are leveraging some amazing tax-free growth opportunities by contributing to a Roth or your health savings account. If you don't know much about those, I would recommend you just look into the power of a Roth and that tax-free growth and the power of an HSA. These things have amazing tax benefits. So make sure you are taking care of those in step 5. Step 6 is to max out your retirement. As of 2021, the max we can contribute if we are under the age of 50 is $19,500. You get another $6,000 or so in your 401k if you are 50 or above. And so you want to make sure you are taking advantage and maxing out all of your retirement options. And then step 7 is what they call the hyperaccumulation phase. I love this. So listen, you can't depend on Social Security. We don't know if Social Insecurity is going to be there. And so what we want to make sure is we are stacking our own cheese. We are building our own funds. So we need to be saving like 20% or more of your gross income, not your net, but your gross. 20, 25% feels good. They call it the hyperaccumulation phase. And I think it's a great idea, great concept. And then step 8 is, while retirement is definitely your number one priority, you can then focus on other financial goals that you have, right? So you want to make sure you can then start to prioritize non-retirement financial goals like saving for your kids' college fund or even buying a vehicle. So after you do those 8 steps, then finally the last step is to focus on that low interest debt, right? It is the final thing that you will focus on. That may be something like a mortgage. I know right now in 2021, mortgage interest rates are super low. And so we deprioritize that as the last step in the financial order of operations. So there you have it, the baby steps and the financial order of operations. I like both approaches. Which one will you choose? I personally take my coaching clients through the baby steps because it feels like a process that's a little bit easier to get into for the everyday person, and they start to see some momentum and some quick wins, and so that generates the kind of behavior I like to see in my coaching clients. The financial order of operations is a little bit more strategic and holistic in its approach to getting you out of debt and building wealth in a smart way. Both ways work just fine. You choose the one that works for you. Remember this. You can achieve much greater things than where you are today if you are willing to put in the work. Conceive it, believe it, and achieve it. I'll see you next time.